What's going on, hustlers? Coming at you again, another morning drive into work. Yeah, work. That doesn't sound like fun, but hey, you know, it's the end of the week. Time to go hustle, make some money. But I want to talk to you today about the eBay fall seller update. Because here we are halfway through September, which means it's coming. It's going to be here before we know it. And that's probably one of the more important ones because it can really impact your fourth quarter sales. And as we all know, in this reselling business, fourth quarter is where we make our money. You know, the majority of our money for many of us. So there's a lot of stuff that they published, and a lot of it was in detail, and that's why they released the information back in August versus in September like they normally do, because they wanted to give resellers time to process, understand, and prepare for what's going to take place. A lot of rumors, a lot of myths going on out there about what these changes entail. All I'll tell you is do your own research, go to the source, go to eBay and actually read their seller update, the fall seller update. There's two key points that I want to stress, two key changes that I see being an impact to my business. And you know, well, I guess there's three, because I'm interested to see what this payment deal is going to be. But, you know, that doesn't scare me because it's just another method of collecting money. So that part of it, you know, I'm not worried about the payments thing. I don't think that's going to be ready for fourth quarter anyways. I have a feeling that it'll be in beta. They'll have a bunch of changes. You know, and we might see payments come out early next year. But more importantly, changing the item condition. They're opening up a new condition called new open box in several categories. And to me, that's a huge game changer, because we sell a lot of stuff that gets returned to, say, like Amazon or Walmart or Target. So it is brand new, but somebody's opened the box. So I'm able to now select, well, as of October, I'll be able to select new open box as a status. That also gives me the opportunity when somebody returns one of our products, because that just happens. People like to return crap. They get buyer's remorse. They spent too much money. Maybe they were shopping when they were drunk. They went out partying for the night. It's 3 a.m. They're on their phone ordering stuff. Wake up the next day and go, oh man, what was I thinking? You know? 100 reasons why people return stuff, but unfortunately, it's a part of the game. It's a part of the business. If you go over to our journey to freedom.com, you'll find a blog post, and I'll put it down in the description as well, talking about Amazon returns and how you can check those returns. But you know, this video is about eBay. I don't really want to get into Amazon, but so the second change that I think is going to impact the most, and quite honestly, it's a good thing. You know, people look at it as a negative thing, but it's really a good thing. They're honing in on seller metrics, and they're going to start penalizing people that don't perform. That'll get rid of the riffraff on the marketplace and allow for a smooth selling process for the buyers, so that the buyers will stay and not go to another marketplace or find someplace else to purchase from. So when it comes down to the seller metrics, you know, you're going to be ranked on your seller performance since June, starting in October. So you could have already impacted where you'll fall and whether or not it'll cost you more money. And you can check those by going to the Seller Hub, and they'll have a whole section with your metrics. There's two key metrics that you want to pay attention to. And, you know, the first one, item not as described. We all know buyers use this as an option to get out of having to pay for returns. With the free returns coming out, I don't know how that'll change. eBay's aware that buyers misuse this, but it doesn't matter. It'll still ding against your account. It'll still be a bad thing for you. You may go through an appeal and get eBay to return the shipping fees to you if you had to pay the shipping, but they will not remove that strike. To me, that's kind of like BS. It's like, I'm not at fault because the buyer got buyer's remorse and decided they want to return a product, and to cheat around the system of not having to pay to return that, they selected item not as described. So to me, that's a huge issue because you have no control over it. The other area is your on-time shipments. You know, I see this every day when I'm at the post office or I'm at FedEx dropping off. I watch people come in, just throw their boxes on a counter and walk out. That is insane. You know how many times that I've gone, I'll stand in that line, I don't care how long it is, just to get a piece of paper showing that I dropped it off, it's in their possession. I've had to go back and fight a couple of times, more FedEx than the post office, but where I've gotten dinged for not shipping on time, not having that scan on time, when I have a receipt that shows I did, and because for whatever reason their system didn't upload, the person didn't do something right, they didn't close out the day, whatever it be, it didn't transmit back to eBay in the allotted time. You know, it doesn't show properly. But submitting those receipts have gotten that cleared up. So, you know, you got to make sure that you're putting the tracking number up on time and that it's getting scanned on time. So make sure you wait in that line. I don't care, you know, how long it's going to be. You got one item or 100 items. Go for it. Get the receipt. Cover your butt. Because if you don't perform well, you could be faced an extra 4% in that category. For every item you sell in that category, not just the one item, they'll charge you an extra 4% on top of the other commissions you're already paying. You know, I know for some resellers, that 4% will break them. That means no profit because they run on such tight margins. You know, so those are some things with the changes coming out in the fall seller update that you really need to pay attention to and be concerned about. Oh, excuse me. A lot of late nights and early mornings lately. Whew. But it's that time of year. It's our busy season. As resellers, we can't let the busy season impact our business by not having these scanned at the post office, not having them scanned at FedEx. You know, FedEx is notorious. If you drop it off at one of the FedEx office locations instead of the actual FedEx terminal, that scan may not even show for a couple of days. That's why I like this little receipt. It's in their possession and has a date and time stamp on it. I turned it in on time. So don't pay the extra 4%. Cover yourself up front. You know, watch your seller metrics. You know, if you're an active seller, be looking at those metrics daily. If you sell 1 or 2 items a week, well, then maybe check it once a week, you know. But it shouldn't be something you go in once a month or once a quarter and look at. You need to be on top of that because it's going to impact your business. Not only is it going to impact you on the 4%, but it's going to squash you in the search listings. You know, that's going to be one of their ranking factors. It's no different than a search engine like Google or anything else. eBay's search algorithm's going to look and provide the buyers with the best experience. What seller is going to give them the best experience and give them the product they're looking for? So you don't want your metric to be in the tank and causing your listings to tank so that they don't appear. You know, some of the other updates that are coming with the fall update, you know, this going to the catalog and trying to be like an Amazon style system, you know, that doesn't concern me. They can try to force it, but I think they're going to find that that's going to backfire on them, you know. It's going to get to the point where, you know, items are going to be listed and there's only going to be one price available for it. You know, the competitiveness is going to go away, and you're going to find that the people will find ways around it. I mean, we already do it today on some of them that are starting to require a brand or a manufacturer's part number in certain categories. People are making up their own brands. It gets them away from having to be on that product catalog listing. You know, will the eBay police eventually crack down on that? I'm sure they'll have a way to do it. But it's just, you know, craziness. You know, there's some other minor changes out there, everything else, but you know, as a seller, it would benefit you to stay on top of that. Go and read these updates and see what they're changing and how it will impact your business. You know, we sell on these marketplaces, Amazon, eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, whatever it is. Every one of them has their own sets of rules and guidelines that you have to follow. You know, yeah, you can go set up your own website and try to sell your products, but you know, the people who say that, hey, they're going to go do that because they think they can make more money and not have to pay these fees, don't understand what's involved in it. You know, my day job, I optimize websites all day long for search engine results. And there's businesses that take some years to get onto page 1 for their listings. You know, if you're trying to sell Nike shoes, how are you going to compete against Nike, Foot Locker, and all these other major brand companies that have millions of dollars to spend to get in front of you in the search engine? Setting up your own website to sell on is not as easy. You know, you can build it, you can put it out there, but you got to get the traffic to go to it or nobody's going to buy anything. So you got to play nice and you got to follow the rules of these marketplaces that people are already going to. They're spending the money to drive the traffic there. You're not having to do it. You know, you are in a way because that's what your fees are. The commissions you're paying them on your product sales help cover those expenses. So to me, it's worth it to have my product sitting in front of all of these people. So, but you know, it's one of those things. Let me know in the comments below how you think the fall seller update is going to impact your business, positively or negatively. I'd love to hear from everybody. But most importantly, hustlers, I want you to get out there and go do.